Hey everybody, welcome back to another budgeting video for one of my bi-weekly paychecks. I hope you guys had a great couple of weeks. This paycheck that I'm doing is from January the 15th. It may just be me, but I feel like this year is already moving by slower than last year. Or maybe it was just because 2020 was such a year. I don't know. Okay, so the balance of my account right now is ridiculously high. Do not get excited for me, just like what I said last week, how it's not real, it's like artificially inflated. It's still the case. Because I was still on the fence about what I wanted to do with the Christmas bonus money that I had received, so I just had it sitting in my bank account instead of spending it and then having regret. And I had to take my SUV in to get the windshield replaced because there was this huge crack in it, and I had no idea how much that was going to cost. So I really wanted to have money just sitting there in case. I was lucky for the first time ever in terms of car repairs. When I got there, the guy was all, it's going to be $500, maybe more. What's the cap? How much are you willing to spend? And I'm like, I have no idea. I mean, it has to be replaced, right? Like, it's not like there's a huge option here. So when he called me later to give me the actual finalized quote, he was all, hey, your deductible's $300, and then there was a discount of $100, so it's $200, which, like, it's weird because $200 is still a lot of money, and yet down from $5, it seems like such a great deal. So I was super excited. So I paid for that. I mean, I put it on my Visa card to get points, but then I immediately paid it off again because I live in BC and they had this thing called BC, is it recovery benefit recovery, something like that. You could basically apply to the government and it uses your tax information from when you filed your taxes in 2019 to figure out how much money you qualify for, to just like kind of give you a hand, and you don't need to pay it back and it isn't taxable. And so since I'm single and I don't have any dependents, the maximum amount of money I could qualify for is $500, and I qualified for it because, you know, single and poor. So I don't know, I think that's basically the criteria. So I had saved that money as well, waiting, used $200 of it for the SUV payment, and now this is also indicating the remainder of the $300 because, again, I didn't want to spend it all willy-nilly and then have regrets. I have to get the oil changed in my vehicle, so I've actually decided the $300 remaining from that $500 I'm going to put into a savings account, not because I think the oil change is going to cost $300, but in my experience, when I take my vehicle in for something that shouldn't cost too much money, they tend to find something bigger wrong with it. It's an older vehicle, it's a 2006, and then all of a sudden I have to pay who knows how much money. So I just sort of want to have a buffer, and then if I don't use it, whatever of it I don't use when the vehicle goes in for the oil change, I'm going to put on as debt repayment, but I want to have it just in case, because I'm a paranoid soul. So this $3,136.29 that is sitting in my account is not real. I don't think I've ever had so much money sitting in there that I've just had, and I don't know, like, it's kind of freaking me out because I just worry I'm gonna screw it up, basically, and use it not in the smartest way possible. But at the same time, I mean, what are you gonna do? I have to make a choice. So, and then I also did not clue into the fact that this month is a 3 paycheck month. So normally on a 3 paycheck month, I divvy up my rent into thirds and I take out a third per paycheck because why not make it a little bit easier on me? And I totally spaced on it. So the first paycheck of this month, I did a half. So I'm just going to continue, and then I'll just be like a half a month ahead in my sinking fund for my rent. That's never a bad thing. My line of credit payment, based on the calculations I had made for it so that I'll be able to have that sucker paid off in a year. I have some updates about that as well though, but I'm just gonna wait until I get farther down in the calculations so I don't jump ahead of myself. My sinking fund amount has changed once again from what I had calculated it out to be when I was budgeting with you guys last time. It turned out that I made a calculating mistake and I caught it after I was done the video, and I thought about doing like a really quick, you know, like a little clip tacked on to the end of that video with like a, hey, I noticed this thing and I've adjusted and this is what's happening now. But that video was already really long, and I figured you probably aren't that invested in my money that you care that it's changed by not like some huge amount, but it did change a bit. Okay, student loan. I don't even know if everything is in frame. It's hard for me to tell. Let's just hope it is. My Visa actually has a balance on it, which is a bit of an annoyance. But I'm paying off almost all of it since I've got some extra money. I have pending like $50 something waiting, so it's not technically on the Visa yet, that I'm not paying prior, because you know, like you could just put the payment and then when the charge comes it all balances out to zero in the end anyways. But part of that, like $15 and change, is an expense for work, so they'll pay me back for it, so I figure I might as well wait. And then the other one, I don't know why I'm waiting. I'm just waiting for some reason. But technically, if this payment were to go through before the charges pending were to actually appear on, my Visa would be at a zero balance, which yay. Okay, so this is where, oh, I should put that this is my Visa. I'm skipping things. Sorry guys. And that is my student loan. So this $300 is the money I'm gonna put into savings just to like have over off to the side so I don't accidentally spend it for the car. So I'm just gonna put it as like save for oil change. I have a sinking fund savings account that I'm currently not using because it's one that I usually use to save up money for my Dragon Boat team fees and then expenses for race season. But there's not going to be a season, I don't think, this year. And I did think originally about putting money into it anyways, in, you know, trying to pretend that I'm being optimistic. But I don't think it's going to happen. And not that I think that saving money for something is ever a bad thing, because I'll just be ahead of it for next year. And, you know, I'm sure something will come up that I can use the money towards. But I just thought I'd rather not be pulling it out of the budget right now and have more money to play with to pay off my debt and for like living expenses for right now. And then once I'm debt free, crossing fingers it actually happens, then I'll just put money over in a bigger chunk into that savings fund or that sinking fund to kind of build it back up again in preparation for next year. Because, I mean, you know, you gotta be realistic, right? I have, however, started a savings challenge for 2021. I'm thinking I might do like a whole separate video about it. Not that it's some big complex thing, but just to sort of explain it separately outside of this video so that this one doesn't become ridiculously long, as they tend to do because I don't stop talking. So it's only such a large deposit of $106 into the savings challenge this paycheck because I hadn't picked a savings challenge yet when I did my first paycheck of the year, and so I didn't put anything into a savings challenge. So this is just for 4 weeks contribution. But yeah, like I said, I think I'll explain that in like a whole separate video. And then, okay, $200 to go towards gas, which I gotta tell you, gas prices are inching not so slowly up, and it is concerning. I have a long commute and I drive an old SUV. Gas prices are not my friend. And then I already did my grocery shopping for this week, because of course I did. So I only need to pull out for 1 week, so food, etc. And then here's the amazing thing. So I've paid my bills. Because it's a 3 paycheck month, my phone bill will actually come out of my next paycheck. And the Anytime Fitness expense that I said I didn't know when it was going to pull out, but I figured it was going to come at some point because my account has been unfrozen as of this month. That came out on January the 12th as an auto withdrawal. I don't have any control over it. So it came out technically on the money from last paycheck. But so I don't have to budget for it coming out here. And I've already taken out money in preparation for the car stuff. Like everything is covered. And look at that. Can you see that number? Let me like move that up there for you. $1,473.82 is just sitting there. I mean, I'm used to this final number being like $40, you know what I mean? Like, this is amazing. And it's all because I hadn't spent the Christmas bonus yet. And then, yeah. Oh, and I got a GST check. It was really tiny, $57.20. I never really understand how they calculate those. I'm assuming that because they bumped up the amount we were getting in our GST checks last year to help us because of COVID, that this year they're going to be smaller. And I mean, that's fine. That's totally fine. But yeah, so I mean, I have this huge amount. So I was doing some calculating because I was trying to decide if the better option was to fully fund a couple different sinking funds so that then every paycheck I actually have a smaller amount of money that I have to put into my sinking funds, thereby loosening up money kind of over the, like a small amount over the long term, or if I should just make a larger lump sum payment to my debt and hopefully get out of debt faster. And yeah, I've decided to do the second choice. I don't know, it seems to make more sense to me because I've already budgeted with how much money I'm going to be earning anyways to be able to make my sinking fund contributions and my student loan payments and all of these things. But if I can pay off that line of credit much faster, then that's just going to loosen up that amount permanently, right? I mean, that's got to be a good thing. So I have decided to put $1,000 extra onto my line of credit, which is mind-blowing to me anyways. Like, I can't believe I can make such a huge contribution to it and amazingly still have $473.82 sitting in this account. Like, I feel like I have seriously missed something, but I went over stuff and I'm pretty sure that I haven't. So I'm going to leave the $473.82 sitting in the account in case I have missed something, because again, it's me and I have had very serious trust issues with math and my ability to do it and bills. But I'm pretty sure that's right. So I'm super excited about this extra payment. My line of credit is sitting right now, it's like 3,000 something, like high 3,000s. So now it'll be high 2,000s. And then still with my regular payments getting put on there of the 148.57. And yeah, I don't know. I'm either going to recalculate once I have it at the new lower balance after this big payment has gone through to see maybe what I can sneak in for an extra amount in the budget to be able to pay it off that much faster, or I might just keep it sitting at the 148.57 for the payment. I have to figure that out. I really hate recalculating things. It hurts my brain. Math is not my friend, to the point that I have this, I almost said a magnet, I have this bookmark that I think is adorable. Stand back, I'm going to try math in real life. It's so accurate. But yeah, okay, so that is my money for this week. Very, very excited about the line of credit payment. I will try to put up sometime in the week a quick little video about my savings challenge that I'm gonna do for the year. And yes, that's it. I think I say goodbye in these things like 3 times before I actually press stop, and I'm just gonna blame it on being Canadian, and that's how we do things. I hope you guys have a great couple weeks. Good luck with your guys' budget this week, and I will talk to you in a couple weeks. Bye.